Hey guys, welcome back to another fully operational video cast. Today we are joined by Anton Price of Frozen in Carbonite podcast fame. Hi Anton.
Hi Andy.
Pleasure having you back. And for all of you, this is the first round of the Sheffield Regional held at Patriot Games in Sheffield. I believe this was mid-June 2014, so it's a couple of months old. But still, some great games played on the day, and hopefully with Anton's commentary we can get some good content out for you guys. So this is Philip Roberts on the right, playing what looks to be a Rebel Smuggler Speeder deck, and my good self, Andrew Hornby, on the left, playing Sith. So, Anton, what are your thoughts on these objective flops?
Not bad for Phil. I mean, I don't see the Hoth Speeder decks too much. I know they're a favourite with some fans, but with the meta changes and everything, they haven't really fitted in. But it's got some tricks in there, and you've got your good setup of Sith
Yeah, a
control.
good bit of Sith control and the Executor giving quite a few resources. It's worth noting, yeah, 2 attack pattern deltas out there for Phil. So that I always find those to be very hit and miss. Either you trigger a bunch of vehicles coming out for free, and that makes the dark side really kind of struggle to keep control of the board, or they don't hit anything, and again the light side can struggle. But worth noting, this is June, so this is before the Force Lock decks and the Jedi really became powerful for the light side. So what do we have? Turn 1 Mara for me, commit to the Force and pass. And Phil's got a resource out nice and early, that's good. And Phil's actually using some coloured gems there, which might make our life a little tricky tracking his resources and stuff, but we'll do our best. So I think, yeah, there's a classic example. Triggering 1 attack pattern delta, doesn't see a vehicle, so no point triggering a second because you know it won't work.
We start with a speeder tank from Phil, so he's running prep for battle, so we'll watch out for those shields.
Great little speeder actually, tactics icon and some shielding. For 2 resources, I think that's a pretty good package.
Also, with Phil having prep for evac, he's sort of like forced you into just playing Sith control and not wanting you to go aggro.
Yeah, prep evac. That's when a Hoth objective leaves play, you can return a unit to owner's hand.
Hmm.
I don't know how often Phil gets a chance to trigger that, but yeah, it definitely makes the dark side think twice about attacking. But yeah, just 1 speeder, doesn't commit, and passes the turn.
That's not the type of turn you want for the first turn of
No, and
Rebels.
again, the top of his deck's not changed, so we know that if he triggers attack pattern delta, it's not a vehicle he can put into play. Vader and a couple of fake cards in hand.
I actually think now with more the ways to deck cycle, yeah, you'd like to think that attack pattern delta might see a bit more use with some of the newer pods that have been coming out.
What you mean, and just churn through the top of your deck until you do find a
Yeah,
vehicle?
so if you like put a dashes pod in for holding all the cards, or I think there's 1 or 2 others that you can search for cards and stuff. You could,
Yeah,
and or just even getting a shuffle on your deck. If you do a deck search and then have to shuffle, if you're not getting a good draw to start with, being able to do that just might change
yeah. I
things.
mean, you're not wrong. There's definitely a lot more abilities that allow you to, look at the top card of decks, and Gamor run as well. I mean that gets a card off the top. It either goes onto your discard pile or to your hand. So if there is a card there that's not a speeder, you can then Gamor and get it out of the way almost.
And that play also sort of lets you know when you do want to use Gamor. If you have looked at that top card, you sort of know what's
That's a
coming.
good point, actually, Anton. That's a good point. I don't know how many. I mean, a lot of people like Gamora out of Jedi because you get a lot of Force icons for its ability. But having that knowledge ahead of time of what you're going to pull, it could be quite good. But Rogue 2 is that, I think, and Rogue 3 and Wedge. Okay, so yeah, this is a good momentum swing in Phil's favour.
I'm hoping that with the new Road Squadron cycle, we might see the return of these speeder decks a lot more and see how they'll change with these new pilot
Yeah,
enhancements.
definitely the pilots. It gives a whole new lease of life to the old units that didn't see much love. Even things like like Y wings and X wings that you kind of didn't consider because you had B wings out there. So it looks like he's attacking with both, it seems, and I believe that's a Shamara going in for defence.
Do you remember your shield?
I think I'm trying to decide if someone else is going in with her. It's been so long since I played this game, I can't remember. All defending? And no shield. Fail.
I think with no Hoffops out here, you've got an advantage.
Yeah, no
Clearly.
edge in for those speeders. 2 heats of battle and a target of opportunity for Phil. So 2 heats takes out Rogue 2. Oh, maybe not. 1 on each. So I think that's a clear sign that I think Mara is going to strike and kill Rogue 3 with her 2 damage. Yeah. And kills the Protector with Rogue 2. I mean, even, you might say, Hanson, even without having the hot operations to give him edge, those speeders do just have a bucket load of black icons. So not necessarily needing to win it there.
Just keeping them on the board, and with 2 heats, you really had
Yeah.
the upper hand there.
So the apprentice stays tapped out because double exhaust being committed.
Makes you wonder why he didn't attack with a speeder first. See if he could have laid the tactics down. Got some cards out
I
of your
think
hand.
the shielding speeder was double tapped out because of Mara's objective and committing to
Oh
units,
yeah,
I think.
yeah. Good play.
Sith Library, Royal Guard. And I think I see another guard in hand. And that's probably, yeah, there he goes. So all of a sudden Mara becomes a much bigger problem to deal with.
Nice wall of defenders.
And as you say, the problem here is I don't really. Looking at it again, you've got the prep free back up, and the ability for Phil to just drop an absolute table full of speeders with both attack pattern deltas. So yeah, commit the advisor and just stay on the defense, I think. And here we go, gets another shield speeder out. And a protector, so this could be a painful turn.
Another protector.
So again, the maths on both sides of the board just got interesting. And another one. Holy moly. So there's nothing here that's swinging too hard for damage, but there's no way those units are dying anytime soon. So do you attack with everything here, Anton, and or do you swing in with some tactics first to?
There's various ways you can do it. If you think you're going to win the edge, you could maybe swing in with all your tactics. It might be worthwhile maybe just doing one of the speeders with tactics and one of the Y wings. Use your shielding to protect the Y wing, because the Y wing's the one that's going to come in with the damage. So you prevent that from getting tactics.
It looks like Phil is going in with most of them. And blocking with the two protectors and Mara. Shield in hand, so it doesn't look like it's forgotten this time. On the objective. That's a... Didn't quite see how many icons Phil had there, but I think 5 for the Sith is a dark side win, is it? No? Yeah, got a dark side to strike first. Now, am I wrong here? Did Phil forget all the shields from the speeders? Oh, yeah. That could be painful. So try to kill Y-Wing, but Protector gets in the way. So again, try and kill a speeder tank, and it does. So Phil gets both objective damage off the Y-Wings. And that seems to be about it.
I think in this situation, you know, as the attacker, you're not going to be killing those Royal Guards, and whatever damage you can lay down isn't going to do anything. What you just need to do is be able to survive. So shielding's important, getting your protect correct of how you move around your damage, and maybe just trying to feint against one objective when you really want to attack a different one, just to try and draw out defenders and split it up.
Yeah, I mean, that is an interesting one. Forgetting those shields makes that battle very different. All those speeder tanks would probably have lived. But also, it seems to attack the agent of the Emperor, which was already turned off. It's a bit like, I know you don't like attacking things like across the Anawat and raise the stakes when they're already... Well, across the Anawat doesn't turn off, but I know you like to put a damage on raise the stakes and then leave it where it is, don't you? It's very similar there. Once there's some damage on the Mara objective, I kind of would leave it alone.
I think when you sometimes put up against it, you're thinking, I just need to take an objective out, so it's already seeing the damage there. It's sort of like makes your mind up for you. Think, I've got to take that out.
I mean, that's a good point for those watching the video. This is before Fantasy Flight changed the tournament rules, so the tiebreakers for objectives destroyed is still around at this tournament. Looks like a lightsaber on Mara there. I think it is her own. So, and another apprentice. So starting to get some objective damage on the board. If I do want to start taking out some objectives, the options there.
I know in this tournament format, taking objectives was always a bonus for you with this tiebreaker. Sort of really stopped you from playing the slow decks that didn't want to destroy anything and just sit back.
Yeah, it really did incentivise the decks that won quickly, didn't it? So I think the change has definitely been a boon to the game. There's a lot more deck variety out there now that you only have to win. It doesn't matter how you win, and that's been a really good change to shake things up. So I'm swinging in there to do a bit of damage to those objectives.
Yeah, I think with that setup, it's nice to lay some damage down, and then if you're just saving it for that end game turn, then it doesn't matter if whatever happens with the prep for
just gives you the option to destroy an objective or two and close the game out a little earlier.
And you see sometimes some players overcommit themselves with how many they want to send into attack. Seems to have got the balance right just by putting some damage out and then leaving still a lot of defenders.
Yeah, I think it kind of the units you have on the table really define that for you. I think because the Dark Side Apprentice is not as good as a blocker as the Royal Guard, and he has an objective damage. So, in my eyes, send him swinging and make use of the icons he does have. The Action Series transport there, the Hoover, the vacuum cleaner of the Star Wars universe. Looks a bit like a Star Trek phaser, actually. Crossing the streams there. Not a unit that sees that much play. I mean, it's in the prep revac pod, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. And usually I've seen it only played when you really don't have anything else to play.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it does have a nice little reaction. It's a resource generator. It has, I think, 3 health, so it's quite sturdy. And I think it can put low-cost units into play, can't it?
I think so. So long.
So it's a little bit like the ship from the Gamor set in that respect. Oh, another heat of battle, so getting some damage in there regardless. He's going to try and kill the one that's not struck yet, but protect makes that difficult, so he's guaranteed the damage either way. That's a good play from Phil. So I think Darkside have had the Force pretty much all the game. I haven't seen Phil commit anything, so I think the Dow's on, I think it's on 9 here.
Yeah, I don't think you haven't lost it at all, so it's just a strange thing to see these days.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess it's before the Jedi Force control.
It does show you how important, well, for me, I know with when I used to run my Navy decks, how important it was to have the Force on your turn for at least a couple of turns.
Sith Library, not doing much for me this late in the game. I'd probably rather keep that as an edge card, looking back. But another Protector out, so board strengthening quite a lot here. Two chokes. It's a shame there's no Vader on the field. Tries for the attack pattern delta and misses. But yeah, I think it is amazing to think that I think between this regional tournament and where we are now, there's only been 1 or 2 pods released. Cycles release. So we're talking the Gamor and the new Yoda, basically, are the 2 biggest meta changes. So there's not that many new cards, but it does make these games look really out of date, doesn't it?
Mm. Shows you how well the Echo cycle did make a change. I mean, I only started just near the end of the Hoth cycle, and trying to look back in the past of like, did it have a major impact on after the core cycle? And I didn't hear much about that. But with this Echo cycle, it just changed things every pack that came out.
Definitely. I mean, most affiliations got some great powerhouse pods from it. Repair droid fixing up those protectors. Nice to see. Oh, okay. So here's the big hitters from Phil.
It's just getting it through.
Yeah.
It's a tough.
Well, I think with the protectors, and as long as he remembers the shields, he's got a good chance. As long as he can win an edge battle. I'm seeing what's in my hand. I think it's a Sith Library, 2 chokes, and the twist is the only thing that's going to save me. Everything at Mara, apart from the 2 snow speeders. Don't forget the shield, Phil.
I probably would have only gone in with 1 Y-wing, the speeder, and the other Y-wing protector. Just protect that Y-wing. It's 2 damage.
He does remember the shield. Yeah, I think I probably would have only gone in with. You got to assume as Phil that you can win this edge. Going in with everything is even if he doesn't win the edge, he's got 4 guaranteed objective damage here, and that's overkill. And you know with those protectors out that you're going to be able to strike with everybody.
And I think you've probably realised by only putting 1 person forward that this is one you can take.
Yeah, I think just send 1 in. It's a good blocker with 2 unit damage, and just try and deny the edge to Phil so he doesn't get his tactics icon. But it looks like he did win. So the speeder tactics out my defender, and then boom. And just thematically, that's a great sight. 4 Y-wings speeding into just nuke an objective is always nice to see.
I don't think it'll be long, Andy, until we see. You've got to draw someone big. There's the Executor. Palpatine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can, even without the holocron, I think we can just tap out and get the Executor onto the board here. But no, goes for Palpy. Use all the libraries, so Palpy likes his books. 2 left. So I'm liking Palpatine and a couple of apprentices here. Just go in and take an objective
Yeah.
out. I think the dial's on 11, so I think only one's needed. Could be wrong. I'm the advisor.
You're making sure you can tactics every single pass now.
The bulk transport. Set phasers to stun.
You realise he's got no edge cards, so...
Force joke. I can't get rid of the transport, so no one opposed. I don't think that objective is going anywhere. So it's interesting, I'm tacticsing out all the open defenders, which makes me think I'm going to swing with someone else now. I think Mara and an apprentice can take out everything at the other one. And yeah, takes it out. Dial at 11, ticks up to 12, so... Very interesting game there. Could have easily, a couple more turns and that fleet of Y-Wings could have certainly brought some pain. But one objective destroyed for the dark side. Let's see how Phil can do when we flip table. Cheers. See you in game 2, guys.